Globalization is a phenomenon. It is not a trend, it's not something that's gonna be gone by tomorrow morning. It is a reality, and we must adapt to it. Hello and welcome. My name is Ricardo Acosta, and today we will be discussing globalization. But what is globalization? Usually, it refers to the growth that is experienced by people, by cultures, by economy, related to the technology and communication. In other words, it is our society today. It is the way that we live in. We're used to it. Globalization is who we are. As globalization is what we are, we can refer to ourselves as global citizens. As global citizens, there are a series of steps or actions that we can take. Even if you don't realize it, you yourself are a global citizen, and in fact you are actually taking these steps and actions in your everyday life. For example, the first characteristic of a global citizen is the fact that they are able to embrace technology. The apps, devices, gadgets, web pages, social media, all of these are the tools of the global citizen, and they know how to use them expertly to solve their problems or solve others' problems. Not only for interaction can these tools be used, but we can actually use them for business. In fact, many companies today are using these amazing tools in order to do their businesses. Another characteristic of the global citizen is that they can easily keep an open mind. A global citizen is able to understand the differences between different cultures. As they will be working with another culture and they are able to understand what makes them different, they can actually find out different ways to work out a problem. And they can also be understood in return. You need to keep an open mind in order to be able to work expertly with them. Global citizens are also able to embrace change. It is no secret that society today is not what it used to be 10 years ago. And in fact, with the rapid evolvement of technology, what we will have in the next 5 or 6 years will make obsolete whatever we have right now. Global citizens are able to embrace change, and they are able to use them to their own benefit. And lastly, we should always practice our global values. Even though society changes, to our technology changes, we must not forget that values must never change. They are the core of ourselves. They are the core of our society. If you were to ask me what are the core values of a global citizen, I will say they are respect, empathy, and tolerance. If we are able to integrate this seamlessly into our lives, into our businesses, into whatever activity that we do, then we can consider ourselves global citizens. Respect, empathy, and tolerance. These are the values that I consider are the core of the global citizens. Now then, with respect, I mean that you should be able to respect the culture, respect the differences, respect the language, respect the traditions, but you should also be respected yourself. You should not let them walk all over you. No, this has to be mutual respect. Now, empathy is a really important value as it will make you able to understand these differences. You can put yourself in the shoes of the other people that you're talking to. In negotiations, this is an extremely important value to keep in mind. And finally, tolerance. You should be able to tolerate their attitude, their opinions, and they should also tolerate yours. In fact, you could say the key to all of this is understanding each other. Not only in negotiations or in globalization, no. Understanding each other is the key to make a perfect, good working society if we want to reach our goals and make the world a better place. Like with many other things in life, there is a good side and a bad side to globalization. Now let's center on the positive stuff. The pros of globalization. The first argument is that it makes communications easier. Thanks to the advancements in technology, you can easily communicate with somebody that is actually on the other side of the planet in just a matter of seconds. This is impressive, especially when we consider that it was impossible 20 years ago. The second point that we want to make is that there are more ways to do business. You can contact people from all over the world to do business. You can do it through a web page, through different apps. You can make business however you want. And also, things like web pages can make it easier for you to sell your product, as you don't actually need to be there for the customer to be able to buy. And the last point is that there is less poverty, as globalization brings with it many different advancements that make work easier and safer, so that people have no longer the need to dedicate themselves to really dangerous jobs. And because of this, they can work in more standard works that keep them safe and their families safe and happy. Now, if we're centered around the cons of the globalization, we will notice that the first of them is that there is a loss of culture. Experts from around the world have said that since globalization is essentially just constructing a similar idea of one person, and this person changing it with each other, and it's exchanging it with many others, then it creates a single individual with the same tastes and the same traditions. And this is causing a loss of culture all around the globe. This is very important, and we must not let our culture and traditions get changed by the recent technology and changes in communication. The second point against globalization is the fact that it makes competitors cheaper. We're not only competing with people in our local city or a local country. No, we're actually competing with people from all around the world. And if somebody can offer a cheaper product in another country, then we're likely to lose business over this. And lastly, is the fact that the multinationals are getting empowered by this. As was mentioned in the previous point, we are competing with companies from all around the world, and if we try to go against one of these multinationals, we're very likely to lose. This is also a very important point to keep in mind. In conclusion, globalization is a massive phenomenon, and a very productive and positive one. However, we must not lose our identity, or culture, or traditions. This is something that we need to keep in mind. And as always, please remember to stay hydrated.